Listen, my advice to Keir Starmer is to stop being an idiot because, listen, Keir Starmer and half of the cabinet voted against President Trump's state visit last time round.
How worried are you about that and where Keir Starmer is going to be on the pecking list of who is an important Western leader to work with Donald Trump?
Others have been so abusively rude about Trump over the years. What in goodness sake's name is the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, a Labour Mayor of London, doing on the eve of the inauguration, saying Trump coming to power is resurgent fascism?
Donald Trump has never forgotten the disdain with which he was treated, and the obvious rejection from the Labour Party has become a real thorn in his pride. During his presidency, most members of the Labour Party didn't just criticise his policies, they openly fought against him as if he were an enemy on the battlefield. He declared with determination that he would send troops to the southern border to stop the disastrous invasion of the country. And this caused them only ridicule. Labour has not missed an opportunity to condemn his immigration bans and portray him as an isolationist who does not understand how important Britain is. But here's the paradox. Trump has always openly emphasised his support for Britain. He advocated Brexit, praised British culture, and even hinted at the possibility of special trade agreements.
And this is with Queen Elizabeth. Right here, who was fantastic, by the way. These images, I mean, who has images like this? And these were relationships, too. Look, here's now the king. Here's Charles with the guard. And this is the Queen, Queen Elizabeth. It's a piece of history at the highest level. Look, it's Charles. So beautiful. And they'll see the most beautiful places in the world. There are no places like this. And hopefully he's going to be well, because he's a really good person. Camilla is fantastic. And you get to know him so well. This is your favorite president with the Queen. She was unbelievable. She was great. We had a very good relationship, really good.
However, the hostility of the Labour Party was so obvious that they did not give him a chance to become an ally. Recalling Queen Elizabeth, who was the epitome of greatness, Trump emphasizes that moments like meetings with the royal family are not just a protocol, but a part of history at the highest level. He talks about King Charles and how they see the most beautiful places on the planet together, which have no analogues. What made this situation worse? The Labour Party didn't just disagree with Trump, they turned to personal insults, as if it were a game in which there was no place for respect. They ridiculed his performances, boycotted his visits, and accused him of fomenting conflict. For a man like Trump, who prides himself on his loyalty and ability to make deals, such an attitude has become a real wound that does not heal. The Labour Party made it clear that they were not his supporters, and this left a deep mark on his soul.
Just before we start, let's have a look at Keir Starmer and the various things he said about Donald Trump over the years.
Of course, I wouldn't want Donald Trump round for dinner, but don't underestimate the danger to the world if Trump is re-elected this time around. I'm anti-Trump. I would like to send my warmest congratulations to President Trump on his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States.
Years. Step forward the real Keir Starmer. Difficult to know, really, isn't it? Although my suspicion is that the earlier version is probably closer to the truth than the last version.
Yes, lots of handbrake turns over the last few weeks, of course, since that presidential election win for Donald Trump. It was a barnstorming speech yesterday, wasn't it?
Trump's dissatisfaction with the Labour Party is deeply rooted in both personal grievances and political differences. Keir Starmer, as the leader of the Labour Party, found himself in an extremely difficult situation, as if trapped in a vice. Under his leadership, the party has not only not changed its attitude towards Trump, but many parliamentarians continue to fiercely criticize his policies, as if this were their personal mission. The problem lies not only in the differences, but also in the fact that the party is desperately trying to maintain unity, like a ship sinking in a stormy sea. Starmer's attempts to demonstrate strength and foresight are shattered by the brutal reality of an internal split. Labour MPs come into conflict with Starmer on key issues, and these disagreements become a stumbling block on his way to the international arena.
From Donald Trump, I had to wonder whether you had Elon Musk's WhatsApp when he came out with that line about common sense, Mike Gray, whether you've been communicating with his inner circle, Donald Trump's inner circle. But make no mistake, Donald Trump isn't going to hang about. He's got an agenda. That agenda could start today. as early as today, when it's expected that Tom Homan, who's in charge of it, in border security and homeland security, is going to start finding, detecting, rounding up, use words what you will, to those who are in the United States illegally, and then deporting them. And the problem for Keir Starmer is, it's all very well doing the warm words now, congratulating Donald Trump.
When Trump once again attracted attention with his bold moves on energy and immigration, Starmer's team was still immersed in the chaos of internal squabbles, as if in an endless cycle. Some MPs seek to restore ties with the United States for the sake of trade and diplomacy, while others consider Trump too dangerous to interact with, like a venomous snake that is better kept at a distance. Starmer's approach to compromise is causing discontent among both his supporters and opponents, leaving him isolated. To make matters worse, Trump is not going to wait for the Labour Party to put its affairs in order. He actively ignores Starmer's efforts to establish contacts, as if this is nothing more than idle chatter. For Trump, Labour's past actions resound louder than any reconciliation efforts Starmer might offer. This situation is not just a problem for the Labour Party, but also a serious challenge for the whole of the UK, jeopardising its future on the international stage.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. We will revoke the electric vehicle mandate. We are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders. I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate, and we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
But Trump didn't stop there. Energy has become another arena where he actively demonstrates his power. He aggressively promotes policies aimed at increasing domestic production and reducing dependence on foreign imports. For Trump, energy independence is not just an economic issue, it is a powerful signal that he wants the United States to be independent and inviolable, like a fortress guarding its interests. This policy has caused heated debate around the world, but one thing is for sure: Trump is fulfilling his promises, and it's impressive.
This is a problem. I'd also say, you mentioned immigration. The economy is such a big one here because Donald Trump is facing in completely the opposite direction when it comes to the tone he's going to be setting with the US economy. He's going to be cutting taxes. He's going to be trying to stimulate economic growth by encouraging businesses to expand their plants, expand their operation in the United States. As he said, simply put, he's going to put America first. Contrast that against Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves' policy, what we saw in the budget on October the 30th, when they put taxes up by £40 billion. We've got businesses, shore capitals in the papers, and analysts in the papers.
Now look at Starmer, who is still hesitating, thinking about his next steps. While Trump boldly implements his policies, Starmer seems to be stuck in limbo. His plans on key issues such as energy and trade look vague, and his attention seems distracted, as if he is lost in a maze. This contrast is as striking as day and night. Trump's determination makes him the dominant figure in US-British relations, leaving little room for maneuver. If Starmer wants to maintain Britain's role in this partnership, he needs to act quickly and decisively like never before. The bigger problem is that Trump is not waiting, he is rushing forward, and his decisions are changing the global landscape. The question is whether Starmer will be able to match this rapid pace, or continue to lag behind as Trump strengthens his position as a successful leader. The gap between their approaches is only widening, and it's hard to imagine how Starmer will be able to close it without the drastic changes that are needed. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.